Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you a trade setup where I took a loss. I'm going to share it with you, where my entry was, where my stop loss was, and how it all played out. We are not here to be sharing our wins and our profits all the time, but we have to learn from our mistakes. We have to learn from our losses, so that we can grow and grow together. Right, for those of you who remember, I shared this setup a day yesterday or 2 days ago, I don't remember, for Gbpnzd. So I'm not going to go back into detail to tell you how price was behaving and all the stuff like that, because all this is shared in the last video that I gave you guys. If you want to have a look at it, I'll put the link below so that you can have a look at it. But what I want to share with you today is how I lost and how I could have avoided the loss. Right, as you can see guys, my entry was here where this auto trade is, and it was a sell limit. So, not talking about the price action that I was looking at and the expectation, I just want to start from there, then we proceed forward. This is where my sell limit was. So what does price do? Price comes up, it triggers my sell, and immediately it blows my stop loss. It takes me out in a very short space of time. Right, this is what is important to know. After this price took me out, okay, what does it do? What does price do after taking me out? Well, if I go to a higher time frame, let's say the 1 hour, I think we can see, right, that after price took me out here, where the auto trade is, this just prints out on its own. If you set it to print your trade history, it will show on your charts. If you don't want the trade history to appear, you can just deactivate it. So I just put it there guys, so that you can see that I took a loss, and then we can talk about it from now and looking at the price action that took place after I was out of the trade. Right, this is a swing high which the price made after taking me out. This is a swing high, and where is this swing high? This swing high is lining up perfectly with this other swing high on the extreme left, which gives us a double, I don't like calling it a double top, I like calling it equal highs, which gives us equal highs. And what do we know about equal highs guys? Above equal highs there is always liquidity. So above this line here, above this level, above those equal highs lies some liquidity. Right, now that we know that there is some liquidity there, what does price do? Okay, what does price do? Price comes back lower, and then it shoots up and just grabs the liquidity and collapses. Price grabs the liquidity and it collapses. Right, now I remember sharing with you guys that look, when price comes here, it can just blow through. That is exactly what it did. It can just blow through, or it can trigger my order and go down with me. Now price came here and it just blew through, and I took a loss. But what did I say about ICT combined with Btmm? This was an ICT zone where I expected price to reverse from, and if you combine it with Btmm, it's a high probable setup if you get an M in that zone or another Btmm setup. So what did I do after realizing this? Now that the stops have been hit, liquidity has been grabbed, I went on to my Btmm template. Right, what does my Btmm template look like? At that very same point in time, Right, on my Btmm template, guys, here is this is where we see the power of combining ICT and Btmm. Guys, if you don't understand this, please watch my previous video where I was sharing this setup, so that this video can just be a continuation from where I left. Now guys, this is my Btmm. When the stops were taken out and liquidity was grabbed, this is what I was looking at. This big M pattern. This big M pattern printed right in front of me. And what did I say about M patterns and W patterns that print in ICT zones or supply and demand levels? They are high probable setups. So what do I see here? Right, this big M pattern, this is a high here. This is a high. This is a high. And from this high, where do we go? We get a higher high here. So this high becomes our first leg. This higher high becomes our second leg of the M. And what do we have down here? We have a high here on the TDI. We have a high here. And what do we have thereafter? We have a lower high. So on the price, we have a high and a higher high. Then on the indicator, we have a high and a lower high. And what does this mean? We got divergence, which makes our pattern even nicer. Right. On formation of the second leg, guys, where does the second leg complete its formation? It's when the price breaks below the 13 EMA. So price breaks below the 13 EMA here and completes the formation of the second leg. And at the same point in time, we have to look for confirmation on the TDI. The TDI gave us a beautiful confirmation whereby the green line crosses below the yellow and below the red. So this was our Btmm entry here. Guys, this is how I recovered from my loss. So guys, we just need to be consistent. We just need to be consistent. And when I took that loss, I paid the price for not being patient. Otherwise, all I had to do was I was supposed to wait for this setup to unfold, wait for the Btmm setup, and jump in when it unfolds like this. So that was my entry, and my TP was here on the previous day, on the previous day's low, and I took my 76 pips. Guys, this thing continues to repeat itself. Market structure is key. ICT, you identify your area of interest, then Btmm, you jump in with a setup which appears on your screen. Guys, this didn't just happen on this pair, it happened again on Gbpnzd. Gbpnzd, what time frame was it? What time frame was it? What time frame was it? Let me try and see what time frame it was on the Gbpnzd. My chart is not loading. It's taking too long to load. Or let me go on the let me go on this template here, on the Btmm template, so that I can just show you where the beautiful M pattern formed. Guys, if you can go on your charts, my chart is not loading properly, but if you can go on your charts, I want you to backtest this. I want you to backtest this, to check it on your own charts, guys, at your own time. Go on your charts, on your D1 chart, and check on the 13th of January. See what happened around this time, midday 13th of January. You see this big M here? It took place, it formed actually from a point of interest which is an ICT zone. This thing keeps repeating itself, guys. Otherwise, that is all from